One time I was at dinner with my high school girlfriend and her mom, and I didn't know how to react because it was her mom. She said, oh, like you can find a rich husband and that can just be your hobby. To actually have that happen to a tenured professor was way more challenging than it should have been because he was wrong. Hi. Hey guys, it's your girl Nat here. I wanted to talk about a very important topic, but also kind of touchy, I guess. I guess not, I don't know. Just so you're aware, there's your warning. I want to talk about women in architecture. So, 2017 study in the UK was very revealing with their statistics, and I'll link the article down below, stating that women are still constantly viewed as less in architecture, because especially considering that construction and architecture is so male dominated. Typically women in architecture, they're viewed more for the interiors, interior design, blah, blah, blah. And if a woman or a female civil engineer is designing a skyscraper, then questions come up. Oh, did they do it right? Did they do this, that, and the other thing right? Are you sure they're engineers? Are you sure they're architects? I want to just say for the younger women on my channel, I've talked with a couple of you. I want to say times are changing for us, and I do think we are evolving into a more accepting society. And if you have personally experienced, there has been just so much work done within the past decade even of reforming bits and pieces of the professional world to prohibit discrimination against women. Because when I worked at the firm, oh, do you work in interiors? If I'm talking with somebody casually, like a visitor to the firm or something like that. Well, I don't know what the field was like 20 years ago. I was 3, so I don't know how much it's changed or what it was really like, but I do think we're making really good, considerable progress. I wanted to tell you the story about my major selection a little bit. So I started out, I wasn't an architecture major at my undergrad university. It was Ohio State, by the way. And I was really unsure of myself, 18-year-old self, and I was just such a perfectionist back then. I didn't want to disappoint my family or my parents, and I wanted to do something that made me money. Does that make me sound conceited or, just an awful person saying I want to be financially stable? I don't think so. I was trying to merge my love and passion for fine arts with something that I could see myself doing on a daily basis that could be profitable, hopefully, in the future. So I landed on interior design. I love design. I love interior spaces and all that stuff. And whenever I told somebody that I was going to be an interior designer, they just thought it was going to be my hobby. One time I was at dinner with my high school girlfriend and her mom, and I didn't know how to react because it was her mom. She said, oh, like you can find a rich husband and that can just be your hobby. Because I was younger and I cared more about what people thought, my attitude towards interior design and just the whole field kind of shifted. Typically, women design interior spaces, right? That's like women's work. So the little feminist in me was like, you know what? I either want to try out civil engineering or architecture. I never got a chance to try out civil engineering, but absolutely, wholeheartedly fell in love with architecture. And this, in a way, was kind of proving to myself that I could do a man's job, which is wrong for me to think that, but that just goes to show you that the field is male dominated. You study all these men who designed these great skyscrapers across the world, and even in, ancient times. The only female architect that I know a lot about is Zaha Hadid, and that's it. I couldn't name another famous female architect. I mean, they're out there, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of great work done by women in the field, but even just studying architectural history, women are barely studied. I mean, you have Charles and Ray Eames, but you don't study Ray Eames, you study Charles and Ray Eames. Same thing goes with the Smithsons, right? Simply put, if you are a woman and you are watching this video and you're wondering, you know, what do I want to do with my life? And the prospect of working in architecture is so exciting for you, but you're scared about the, for lack of a better word, I'll say discrimination based on your sex and gender or identity. I would say show them all wrong that you bring value to the table, because you do. You're talented and you got this. There are going to be people who've been in the field forever who view you as less. And I hate to say that, keep your head up, because you are the future. These older people who are in the field are aging out, you know? They're aging out. Last week, I published my reacting to old architecture work, and I did also want to just make a quick comment on what I said about that professor who called me Blondie for a whole semester. He was asked to retire after many of us filed formal complaints against him. To actually have that happen to a tenured professor was way more challenging than it should have been, because he was wrong. It was also religion, and it was also, he was against international students, and he had a very like old school mentality about how architecture should look like and what it should be. I still learned a lot, but it came at a very hefty mental toll. Please, 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 and I know this is easier said than done, because trust me, I've been there, but you're strong. You're so unbelievably strong for pushing forward and learning from certain situations that you unfortunately were put in because of your identity, and you can only go forward, become stronger as a result. Those are my 2 cents on it. Not that anyone asked, but I did want to make this video because I haven't really talked about my experiences. I'm sure as I get my license and get more experience in the field, there are going to be more instances where, you know, this and that and the other thing. I mean, it might happen, but fingers crossed it doesn't. And I hope it doesn't happen to anyone else either, obviously. Well, that is it for today's video. I hope you guys stay positive and have a great rest of your semester. If you're still in school, I doubt anyone is, but if not, congratulations on completing a really difficult year. All right, love you guys.